big as the Super Bowl, but the difference is it's just two guys playing that they did in the studio.
The Super Bowl was just this Sunday. The Chiefs three-peat did not happen. And with another Super Bowl comes another halftime show performance. And ever since Jay-Z took over kind of being in control and picking out the artists for the halftime show way back in 2019, I have loved it. I really feel like there's been a huge step up in quality. He's done a great job at picking artists. And I kind of wanted to go through and rank every single performance since Jay-Z took over. So starting in 2020, ranking them from my least favorite to my favorite Super Bowl halftime performances. Also, just to clarify here, just to make sure that I wasn't judging things based off just my memory, I went through and rewatched every single halftime show on this list so I could take notes and understand and remember like the performances themselves and not what Logan 3, 4, 5 years ago felt about them. Okay, so just before I get started on the list, just wanted to put that out there. It's actually kind of odd when I think about it that I have The Weeknd at the very bottom, because out of all the artists on this list, he's actually my personal favorite artist, like the one I listen to the most. So this shows that I'm trying to be as objective as possible and trying to take it just as the performance that we saw here. But my biggest takeaway is, yes, The Weeknd is super popular. He has hits on hits on hits. But I don't think I realized it until I'm watching it. But his hits, for the most part, right, there's a few that are high tempo, but a lot of them are just kind of more chill, low energy, slower songs. There's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't really translate to a great halftime show performance at the Super Bowl. The biggest concert in the world, it just didn't really translate well. There were some elements that were just a little odd and weird to me. Like when he went into the tunnel and there was like, he's controlling the camera, like I like the idea of it. It wasn't executed that well. The stage design was just kind of like, it was pretty good. It's better than some of the stage designs here, but it was just all right. The moment he went down to the field, though, was really cool. And the blinding lights, like, closing was awesome. That really saved it for me. So it wasn't bad. I love the song selection because I love The Weeknd. I felt like I was able to sing along to most of the songs, and I recognized them. But I'm not sure if he was a great artist to translate into a big, up-tempo, really entertaining, fun Super Bowl halftime show.
I saw the life inside
Yeah, so next up I got Rihanna at number 5. Again, I don't think any of these are bad, quite honestly. I think all of these have been great. Like I said, I have loved what Jay-Z has done when he's taken over. Really great artist selection since his leadership. But I just got Rihanna at number 5. A couple of notes. I thought it was really weird to start off with Better Have My Money as her opener. Like, I think that would have worked somewhere within the show, but with her catalog and how deep her bag of hits is, it felt like an odd choice to start the show, but that's just my personal opinion. I loved the floating stages. Thought that was really cool. Nice touch. Obviously, there's the craziness. Like, I remember being, is she pregnant? Is she not? That was a moment, like, hinting at that and things like that. I thought the dancing was a ton of fun. With her being pregnant at that performance, the dancers really had to take it to the next level, and I feel like they did. I loved that they had a few moments where, like, the song was remixed to, like, a little bit of a EDM, more dance track to allow Rihanna and the dancers to do their thing. I felt like that allowed the show to be a little bit more engaging, a little bit more entertaining, and so I was a fan of that. This isn't a point against Rihanna at all, but when she was doing Wild Thoughts, I would have loved to see Bryson Tiller personally, but that's just me. But one of the biggest things for me that made me rank it at 5 and maybe not higher was I felt like, and again, I know she's pregnant, but that there was a level of like, she was stuck or stagnant almost in one place. And I know she moved around a little bit, but like I felt like that made the show a little less engaging than I would have liked from a Rihanna performance, given her songs and the hits and the tempo of those hits. Felt like she kind of would stay on the floating stage or stay in the middle of the main stage, and that's about it. Like, not a whole lot of movement, but still a great show. Really enjoyed it.
Reincarnated, I was stargazing. Life goes on, I need her, my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me.
Yep, I got the most recent one, the one from this past Sunday, Kendrick Lamar at number 4. And maybe you think that's too high, maybe you think it's too low. I don't really care. Before anyone heads to the comments, yes, I understood the symbolism. Yes, I understood the message, whatever. But, like, I don't know. Maybe this is tone deaf for me to say, but that's just not what I'm looking for in my halftime performance. And it's not that I can't handle the message or I disagree with it. But if the message, if the symbolism comes at the expense of an entertaining and engaging show, that's where I begin to have a little bit of a problem with it. I felt like it would have been great, his performance as an award show performance, but when it's the Super Bowl and all of America is watching, like, we need something high energy. We need something crazy. I felt like Kendrick was also a little bit of an odd choice. Like, maybe my demographic, we get it because the Kendrick and Drake beef was huge. Not Like Us was a huge track. But when you think about who all is actually watching the Super Bowl, there's more people that probably don't know Kendrick Lamar or don't know his songs than actually do. So that felt a little odd to me. But my personal opinion, I loved when he was bringing the songs with the energy. I loved it. There was a couple times where the energy dipped randomly and it was very jarring. And I don't understand why he chose some of those songs, but when he was doing Humble, when he was doing TV Off, when he was doing Squabble Up, it was awesome. And I actually really loved the Not Like Us tease. I thought that was so much fun because everyone knew it was coming, and the way he teased it was great. Obviously, SZA was amazing. I was really looking forward to her. I wish she was able to do maybe one or at least a snippet of a solo track and not just the songs that she's featured on with Kendrick. So that was a little disappointing. And the last thing that kind of just didn't sit with me, right, and I'm kind of wrestling between this, is I know that this was kind of the victory lap for the Drake and Kendrick beef. I get that. But I'm wrestling with what would have been more effective, what would have been the final nail in the coffin. What he did, which was like the winking at the camera, hey Drake, and the game over at the end and bringing out Serena Williams. Like, is that like really hinting at and giving attention to Drake? Or would it have been more effective to like not even acknowledge him at all? Show that you're not even paying any mind. Just give an all-out baller performance, going crazy, doing Euphoria and doing Not Like Us. People going crazy to it. You're doing a phenomenal job. And the fact that those tracks give so much engagement, that it has so much hype to it, that's what shuts him up. That's what really ends the beef. Like, not giving him any mind and just letting the record speak for itself, or like dedicating a whole portion of the biggest opportunity for a musician to another person. I don't know. It just felt a little weird, but I'm a hip-hop guy. I enjoyed the performance. The tracks were cool. Overall, it was pretty good, but those things kind of weighed it down for me a little bit.
Got me feeling it. I don't know what it is, but she's twisted. I'm so...
To me, this is like the baseline. This is the standard for what a Super Bowl halftime performance should look like. I think Usher did a great job. He is a recognizable name. Multiple demographics and ages recognize who he is. He's got a lot of hits, but he's a great singer and he's a great dancer and performer, and we got to see all of it. It was super engaging the whole time. The energy was up. I really, really enjoyed Usher's halftime show. I don't even know all of Usher's songs. Like, I didn't grow up in that era, but I knew enough, and even if I didn't know the songs, I was enjoying what I was seeing. It was a ton of fun. I personally love when artists bring out surprise guests at a halftime show, but I feel like Usher may have brought out 1 to 2 too many. Like, it became overkill, and it no longer became Usher's halftime show. it was like Usher and Friends. And I don't think that's a bad thing if that was the lineup. If the lineup advertised was it's Usher, Lil Jon, Ludacris, Alicia Keys, and everyone else who was there, that's cool. But it was Usher's halftime show, and I wanted to see Usher and a few guest spots here and there. That's great, but then it started to kind of take away from it. But it is what it is, because at the end of the day, we all were there to see Yeah, and they did a great job of it. I love seeing Luda, love seeing Lil Jon, and it was so hyped. The marching band, it was a great way to close it out. Just pure, great halftime show performance. This one at the time being kind of controversial, and I understand, and whatever, that's your opinion, but I thought that this one with Shakira and J-Lo was such great energy. They did such a great job of sharing the time, splitting the time, doing their hit songs that people know, a lot of dancing because that's what they're known for. And I thought it was super cool that like they leaned into the fact that they were in Miami, so they had some Spanish artists. They brought out Bad Bunny, J Balvin, which was super fun, reaching that younger demographic that would probably recognize them a little bit more. It was just, it was entertaining. Like, they were doing crazy stunts. The dances were awesome. I thought the digital stage was really, really cool. Overall, like, not a lot of notes. I just thought it was a super fun, super entertaining halftime show. I honestly don't understand how you could possibly disagree with me putting this at number one. Like, as objective as I could be, this was the best of the group, but also in recent years, like the best Super Bowl halftime show. It was so cool. I think there's something really interesting and honestly like effective about having a lineup rather than just one artist, because each of the artists in the lineup get to do a couple hit songs that people know them for. And then rather than maybe if you go a little bit deeper down and more people don't recognize that song, you actually get to go just to the next artist and do their most popular song. And across the board, people are recognizing it. People are singing along. People are bringing the energy. This one was so cool. The stage design was so awesome with all the different houses for all the different artists, and the lights kind of illuminating the map of the city was super cool touch. I mean, everyone was giving such great performances. They created awesome moments. Like 50 Cent's intro was amazing. That's unmatched. Like, it really is untouchable. That was iconic. And then Eminem coming in was awesome. I think Kendrick gave a phenomenal performance here, better than his own halftime show that he headlined. Like, it's almost like he used all his good material in this one is what it felt like. But you got Eminem representing kind of that middle ground. You got Kendrick for the new crowd. You got Dre and Snoop for the older crowd. Like, it felt like everyone got to see an artist they like. I don't even know Mary J. Blige like that, and she crushed. Like, I was entertained the whole time. Dancers did a great job. And the energy was here the whole time. It was exactly to the T what you expect and what you want from a Super Bowl halftime show. And then they exceeded that. That's why it's number one. They met the requirements and then doubled down and went even more. And it was just, I still think about it. I still love it. I would watch this on my own because it's just such a fun and entertaining halftime show. So that's my thoughts, just my opinions. Don't hate on me for it. What did I get wrong? What did I get right? Let me know in the comments what your personal rankings of these 6 halftime show performances are. And who do you think should do it next year? Deuce Keys, homies.